the Heritage Christian Academy in Maple Grove for Minnesota Christian Athletic Association boys basketball. It's the Maranatha Christian Mustangs taking on the host Eagles here from Heritage. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson, and Maranatha has dominated this conference for a very long time, but they are off to an 0-2 start this year. State runner-up in Class A last year, but it's a brand new team and a very young team.
Well, I think it's the first time they've started 0-2 and since forever, Jay, and much less even lost 2 games in a row. They're a very young team. They start 2 8th graders, but they got a lot of talent. They're well coached. They know how to play. I wouldn't get too worried about starting 0-2. It's a learning experience, especially when you have young players.
It's kind of early for the conference season to start, and most years it hasn't been that way. Heritage has only defeated Maranatha once in Tim Herman's 13 years here at Heritage. You know the folks in this gym are thinking, okay, this is the year we get our revenge a little bit.
It's kind of like the Green Bay Packers dominating the Vikings, really. But yeah, you're right. He's got a good team this year. They expect to win. They're 1-1 coming into the game. They got a wealth of talent too, and I think when you have a team that's really young, kind of rebuilding, that's when you want to get on them. So I'm sure they're going to not take it lightly. They're going to want to get off to a good start here in conference play.
That's right. Heritage, a 16-win team a season ago. They do have 3 starters back, so definitely more experience on their side. We'll tell you about key players to keep an eye on in tonight's contest. A small sample size, but Austin Andrews has done a very nice job as an 8th grader the first couple of games for Maranatha.
That's the thing that really jumps out. I started as a sophomore, and I remember physically feeling like I was playing against men. I can't imagine as an 8th grader playing against guys that are 3, 4, 5 years older than you. So Austin Andrews averaging just under 14, right around 14 points a game. He's 6'3", he's got a great body, he's good around the basket, he can handle it, he can rebound, so I'm excited to see him play, and you only get better as an 8th grader. The more experience you get, the more confidence you get, the better you play.
And for Heritage, we're going to talk about one of the best players in this conference, C.J. Woda. He's had a great start for them, and they expect that kind of production all year long.
Well, he's been phenomenal. He really shoots the ball well from the outside, but he's got great vision. He plays a lot with the Maple Grove kids during the summer, so he's playing against really good competition. He's 6'4", and scores the heck out of the basketball, and I'm just excited to watch good guard play. It's always fun to watch good guards, and I'll tell you what, when you watch this team, they shoot a lot of threes, so we're a lot of ball pass. They really push in transition. They want to shoot from the perimeter.
All right, should be an interesting matchup here tonight. Maranatha trying to pick up its first win of the season. Heritage trying to do what they usually haven't been able to and knock off the Mustangs. We'll tip off in just a moment here on 12 Sports.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
And welcome back here to Heritage Christian as Maranatha and Heritage being introduced to the fans here as you get a look at Maranatha. A loss 85-62 to St. Paul Como Park to start the year, then a much closer one, a 4-point loss on Tuesday against Cristo Rey Jesuit. You see the Mustangs were much the better of the 2 teams a season ago. And Heritage so far 1-1. They had a 4-point loss over at Breck to start the year and then blew out Concordia Academy here on Tuesday night. As we get a look at the starting lineups for these 2 teams, with Maranatha Christian featuring Deontay Jordan, Cornell Richardson, and Elisha Coleman out on the perimeter. Austin Andrews and Wendell Smith up front for the Mustangs, and Coach Jeff Wall. And at the other end for Heritage Christian, you've got Zach Johansson, Ben Allen, and Tanner Scott at the guards. Jack Vandertop goes about 6'6", and a returning starter along with Woda up front for Heritage Christian and Coach Tim Herman.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Wendell Smith matchup with Jack Vandertop. 2 big physical guys down low, and when there's lots of 3-point shots, lots of perimeter shots, really sometimes you can control the glass, can be a big outcome of kind of dictating the pace and who's going to win that game. So that'd be a matchup to keep an eye on.
Interesting talking to Coach Herman from Heritage. He said, you know, sometimes people kind of feel like there's a you know, mystique or whatever about Maranatha, and he just said, you know, I don't look at it that way. I just said they've had good teams and they beat us, and that was okay. And you know, we hope to turn the table, but you don't look at it as some magical thing that there's, you know, that you can't beat a team.
Well, and every year is a new team too, especially, you know, when you've had a Hansen brother for the past 16 years that, you know, for Maranatha, they've had a string of them, and they've been very talented, tall shooters, athletic, and this is the first time in 16 years without one. So every year is a new year, and that's why I also think for Heritage getting that big win early in the year, sometimes you need to win. You need to feel that as a group. You've been working all summer, you know, preseason, you've been running, you're doing all that work, and to get some early success too can lay the foundation, that confidence level to compete.
Tip controlled here by the Heritage Eagles, and we are underway. Maranatha coming out man-to-man as they expected to do, and Scott being harassed there by Cornell Richardson. Johansson picks up the dribble, and they look to the post here. And the turnaround jumper way too strong there for Woda. Back come the Mustangs now with Elisha Coleman.
Yeah, tough opening shot. You're in the post. You want to get something going to the basket, Jay. See how he had to fade away and shoot over a defender.
In and out on the long jumper there by Jordan for Maranatha, and they will get possession back. And restart at the top here with Richardson. Not a ton of size this year, certainly for Maranatha. They've generally had decent size, not, you know, a lot of super big guys, but some, you know, decent inside size. Putback try would not go for Andrews. Seemed to be a fairly easy chance, but he left it short.
And you can see just right out of the Great Heritage going to a 2-3, but they're extending that out, and they're trying to, you know, keep Maranatha away from the basket.
Foul called on the reach in there against Cornell Richardson. There's a look at Tim Herman, the Eagles head coach. Done a very nice job building this program here.
In his 13th year, and you see a couple of good-looking guys there right next to Coach on our monitor.
Scott directing traffic here for Heritage. No score. A little bit of a kind of a tense start, I think, for both teams. Pull-up jumper by Vandertop is good.
Yeah, and Vandertop, he's got nice touch for a big fella, 6'6", right in that elbow, and really unselfish play by Woda, drawing a little bit of double team and then kicking to his partner.
Inside, and the shot partially blocked as Vandertop had a chance in close. And the Mustangs will run it back the other way.
And I think Maranatha, if they had their way, they'd like to beat this defense down the floor before they get set up. When you got a young team, sometimes zones can make you stagnant.
Foul on Jordan there after the steal. Scott jumped into the passing lane as you get a look at Jeff Wall, the Mustangs head coach, and took his team all the way to the final game last year, ended up second in the state tournament.
And sometimes your best coaching jobs come maybe when you have less talented teams. You know, anytime you're starting 2 8th graders on the varsity, you're going to have to be a heck of a coach, which he certainly is.
And we'll get a foul on the drive as Ben Allen took it to the hoop and got bumped on the way up. And that's the third foul on the Mustangs, first on Wendell Smith. You could see that matchup's a tough one for him to be able to move his feet as much as Allen there.
Yeah, and Ben Allen, you know, he's smart. He picks his spots. That time recognizing maybe he had a quickness advantage on Wendell Smith and smartly took it to the basket. You see a lot of times guards will settle for perimeter shots. That time really heads up play, drove to the basket, got the contact.
You see a Kim Daniels checking in now for Maranatha. Second free throw also no good. We had a lane violation anyway against Heritage, so A couple mistakes early on, and the Mustangs will inbound to the backcourt against full court pressure.
Yeah, and a smart play here by the Eagles. They're knowing they're playing a younger team. Get some full court pressure. See if you can speed them up, create some early turnovers, maybe get some easy scores in transition.
Nice job by Vandertop to step in and pick that one off. Quick trigger here, but it won't drop for Johansson. Andrews out of there with it for the Mustangs. Looks ahead, now across they come. Daniels is fouled.
And that's, I think, what the Mustangs are going to have success tonight. You see how quick they go in transition. And they got the athleticism and the quickness to attack before that Heritage Christian Academy defense can get set up. An excellent pass by Cornell Richardson there. And Hakim Daniels at the free throw line gets the first one to foul.
So first point of the game here for Maranatha comes on the free throw off the bench there by Daniels. And second free throw is good as well. So even up at 2, they're going to throw long and almost into the Maranatha bench there as Johansson was kind of snuck off to the side. Yeah. Nobody saw him, but the pass was not on target.
Yeah, and they'll do that. They'll throw it up like that, try to get a quick transition perimeter shot. And those are the kind of turnovers that drive coaches nuts when they're unforced.
Eagles looking to trap that time, and now down the baseline comes Andrews. Nice reverse.
And that's just for an 8th grader to have that kind of ability to attack the basket, go up and under too. You know, one thing I'm looking for tonight is how do these Mustangs play as far as their pace, Jay? You know, with young guys, you have a tendency to play too fast. And if they're able to control that pace a little bit, slow down and make good decisions.
And the pull-up jumper good by Johansson there for Heritage, and we're even up now at 4 apiece as they again come with some pressure. And they get the steal out of it. Oda drives and tried to dish, and Daniels picked it off and then was fouled.
And Woda did a nice job getting the steal there. He's just got to go ahead and finish that himself. Nice shot fake, mid-range, and Johansson there. He's a great shooter. He's only 2 of 12, Jay, coming into the year from three-point land, maybe recognizing that, taking another dribble and getting a nice mid-range jump shot.
Andrews zipping it across. Oh, and a nice shot block coming from behind there by Johansson, as it looked like it was going to be a layup central for Wendell Smith.
And Johansson only 6'2". It looked like he had his hand well above the rim there, went up. Showed some great athleticism going to get that ball. That's how you attack a press. You go up the sideline. They had a nice 2-on-1 break. This great recovery by Johansson.
And Vandertop, already his 3rd steal in this first half, goes to the hoop, and layup is good.
See his body control, how he slowed down, contorted himself, took the contact, able to finish.
They get it front court here to Jordan. Now Andrews down the baseline, had a jab free. Daniels comes up with it, and he'll get the hoop for Maranatha.
And sometimes basketball is just about being in the right place at the right time. You can see the ball gets tipped right into Daniels' hands. Nice job going up and under, taking the contact from Vandertop and able to finish. Daniels back to the free throw line.
And a 3-point play, so he has come in strong off the bench with 5 quick points. And it's 7-6 now for Maranatha.
51.
Jab free and recovered by Daniels. Good hands by Richardson initially there. And then we get a foul against the Eagles. And that'll be Tanner Scott picking up his 2nd quickly now. And see if he'll be the one who comes out as Josh Dart quickly off the bench, and Scott will sit.
Well, that's a big foul. Tanner Scott, doesn't score a lot, under 5 points a game, but he's their senior. He's their starting point guard. So getting 2 early fouls, especially against this quick, athletic ball pressure team of the Mustangs.
Scott's a heck of a soccer player for the Eagles in the fall. Richardson trying to turn the corner, going to be called for a travel. He thought he had kept his pivot foot down, but the official did not agree there. Allen to the front court now, gets it to Dart. Into the lane, and the jumper good by Allen.
Yeah, nice motion offense. You got a ball rotation. He had a couple of baseline screens. And Allen, after he set his screen, he showed wide open, nice finish.
Vandertop comes up with it after Woda got a piece of that ball initially. Heritage looking to build on a 1-point lead. Vandertop kicking it over, and the long jumper won't drop. And now a 2-on-0 back the other way. Andrews all the way for the layup.
And again, you've seen the Mustangs, if they're able to get in transition, and you know Heritage will shoot a lot of those three-pointers. If you can get long rebounds and turn it into quick points in transition, that's going to be a big plus for the Mustangs.
Cutting down the lane, and Woda with the layup.
Yeah, just a beautiful offense, great spacing. There's a turnover quickly off of the inbounds play. But watch this, you're going to see this is that transition, and you get Andrews up in transition, able to finish. But watch this cut, just a nice perimeter screen at the top. Woda just cuts. Someone has to be there to help for Maranatha. Otherwise, they're going to give easy layups like that all night long.
Timeout taken here as both teams maybe had a little bit of a tentative start, but we've seen things start to pick up here. And, good even matchup so far at 10-9.
Yeah, and sometimes too, when you got that first conference game against teams that you can see the Mustangs, a lot of the fans here, some of the girls players that just got done with a nice performance. As we're in the second part of our double-header. But you can see, I mean, pretty evenly matched as far as their offenses, right around that 60 points. See, the Mustangs have had a little bit more trouble stopping players, and I think that's when you get young people, you get lapses like that, what we just saw, where you get easy, uncontested layups. Part of teaching young people basketball when you're in 8th grade, even 9th grade, Jay, is just understanding team defense, how to rotate, where to go. Those are things that'll come. I wouldn't want to play this Mustangs team maybe later in the year once they've had some 15, 20 games under their belt.
And a turnover there on Heritage just into the game. Tim Thurston there. They got forced to scramble a little bit because they were slow coming to take that inbound, and the official just put the ball down and started to count.
I always hated when refs did that. You know, just let us know that we're late. They give us a chance to come up and set up, especially out of bounds. There's another turnover, and you can see Maranatha struggles with some of these unforced turnovers here in the backcourt.
Justin Mason, who just came in, traveled, so a couple guys just off the bench, each committed a turnover, one each way, so trying to get their feet wet into the game here. Here's Dart receiving it on the wing.
And you notice too, when you're watching Heritage Christian Academy play, watch their spacing. They got 5 guys all around the perimeter, and they all move without the ball, and it opens up really nice driving lanes, good balance too.
Thurston fights for that rebound after the miss by Vandertop. So they'll get another crack at it. And too strong on the 3 there was Allen. Mustangs looking to run it back the other way. 3 from Richardson, no. And Richardson got his hand on that one as Dart came up court. See, with Scott out of the ball game, one less ball handler, they're starting to pressure up the guards a little bit more. Nice cut here by Allen, but just left it short. Strong drive, strong finish by Jordan. That one could very well have been an and-one situation there, but he did a nice job of concentrating. Ooh, and Andrews erases that one.
He's got pretty good athleticism for an 8th grader, doesn't he, Jay? He finished one right at the rim. That time goes up. Great timing to elevate, get a shot block. Pretty remarkable for an 8th grader. Look at him go up and get that.
Yeah, and you don't get the sense of being an 8th grader. I mean, he looks young, yes, yeah, but you'd think maybe more 10th or so.
Yeah, and his body looks of that of a sophomore or junior. That's always the biggest thing is strength and even just your quickness growing into your maturity. But he seems really, really mature for an 8th grader. And
let's remember too that a lot of these kids now, nice pass into Thurston for the layup. A lot of these kids now play so much AAU ball and everything that I think it's a different feeling. That's going to be a double dribble, I believe. They're traveling anyway against Maranatha. that, you know, they've played so much ball that it's a different situation than it might have been many years ago, being that young.
Yeah, and you can see a nice cut, you know, coming from the weak side. You see a gap in the middle, and Tim Thurston does a nice job flashing. And I'll tell you, when you watch Heritage Christian Academy play, they all have their heads up. They're all looking for that back door. They cut extremely well without the ball, and that it makes it hard to guard. There's another nice cut, and what happens is defenses collapse, and that's how they get open looks from the perimeter then as well.
Dart pulled up, but we had a foul prior.
We're going to get Wendell Smith with the hand check. That's going to be his second. And you can see that's one of the things they're trying to attack. Whoever Wendell is guarding on the perimeter, they're trying to go right at him.
Matt McKevitt will check in now, the 6'1" senior for Heritage. And we did know, too, the same officials worked the girls' game, and they called things pretty tight. And I think the teams are having to adjust to that a little bit in the early going, especially when you're putting pressure on. There's going to be a little contact, and they're generally being called tight.
Yep, and then that's your job as a player and as a coach to just adjust. As long, all you ask for is consistency. Even if you don't agree, if you're calling it the same both ways, then it's up to you to adjust.
Mason taking the three and hitting the three.
I thought that ball might get caught up in the net here. It's a very high arcing shot, but gets that one to drop.
Woda going to the hole and scoops it up and in with the left hand.
Yeah, not an easy thing when you're a right-hander to get control with your left hand. Able to scoop it up off the backboard. Really nice looking move.
Timeout taken by Coach Wall as we get another look at the long one from Mason.
Well, and I love Justin Mason. You know, he's only in 9th grade, so he's a veteran on this team. But couple plays down, he airballed the three, has the confidence to come right back, and that time he sticks it. And again, to go with that underhand, that finger roll scoop, somewhere George Gervin would see that, he'd be very pleased with the finger roll by C.J. Woda.
I got to say, George Gervin, one of my top 5 favorite NBA players of all time.
Yeah,
loved him.
I love watching those old highlights. I mean, he's one of those, in fast breaks, he would finger roll from the three-point line. I mean, he was the absolute master of it. But no, you know, C.J. Woda, you don't score almost 24 points a game. Again, only 2 games, but if he's able to sustain that, I mean, you don't just get that shooting threes. That time you can see using his height. He's got a nice lengthy body too, quick first step. And that's why, you know, Jay, when I work with young players, I always tell them, become a great shooter first. Because then you can show them the ball. It opens up everything else. You know, whereas if you can't shoot and teams back off you, it really limits you. So having that ability just to show the ball, pretend, you know, if you're a threat to score from the perimeter, it opens up the rest of your driving game.
The other thing is, even if you get tired or you're in foul trouble or whatever, your shot will still stay there. You know, whereas maybe you can't drive or whatever because of other reasons. Smith with a nice layup there, a good penetration started that, and the Mustangs battling back to take the lead.
Yeah, and as the Mustangs get older and more experienced, they're going to realize they can use their quickness and get to the basket and make plays for their teammates. Excellent play. How about that versatility? Woda in the post, nice spin to the baseline. Watch him come back with his left hand here, knowing where the player was going to try to get the block. And that's just good offense, beating pretty good defense.
Coleman picks up the foul as he hit him on the way up. Woda a couple buckets tonight, first time to the line, and he misses.
Yeah. How about this? For as good a shooting team as the Eagles are, in the first 2 games, Jay, 9 for 33 from the free throw line.
And tonight, 0 for 3 so far.
So
now they hit one.
I know that's something that Coach Herman probably has practiced a lot of. Improve those. They're called free throws for a reason. They're free points, so you got to take advantage of it when you're in a trip.
16-15 lead here for Maranatha, and it's out of bounds off of the Eagles as Thurston tried to get in the passing lane there.
And you see how Heritage, their 2-3, Jay, keeps coming out further and further. They're trying to play those passing lanes. And that's where, you know, as you get more experience, your back door, you're looking to attack. I mean, look at there's double team right out at half court. You got to get someone that attacks, that puts pressure on this zone defense.
They work it around to Daniels on the right side. Cross-court pass tip. Woda with the steal. Gets it to Scott. Nice pass across. McKevitt, though, left it short. And then we're going to have a foul on Thurston trying to tie him up. Everything but the finish there.
And again, it's that steal is because everything's going on the perimeter. Excellent hustle. And then a really nice pass by Tanner Scott over to McKevitt. McKevitt just kind of hurried that finish. You just got to gather yourself. You got to complete that. I always say all that jelly and no toast. You got to get the 2 points.
Daniels look to the baseline now. Will go to Andrews on the baseline. Fakes that three and then steps in. Fires the jumper, but it's off target. And the Eagles get it.
Yeah, and even that was a heck of a move. A nice shot fake, one dribble. I think he got the look that he wanted.
Nice dish, but Vandertop had his shot blocked as it looked like they were going to get a layup and good recovery.
Yeah, Wendell Smith had a great recovery. He went to help, able to close back and get his hand on the ball. It looked like a for sure 2 points, but a really nice play.
Johansson back in there, Scott as well. Here's Woda pulling up for three, and he hits.
Yeah, nice rhythm. You see, he knew what he wanted to do. Nice little jab, created some space. That's big time for him to get that. Like we said, he's 18 for 36 in 2 games from 3, so he's a very good three-point shooter.
The lefty Daniels shooting and missing. Rebound tip free over to Allen. Heritage by 2. Johansson back out. Allen's wide open for 3, but he can't hit it. Woda, the rebound, he is fouled.
Yeah, and a smart play. He knew Hakim Daniels was underneath him, knew they was going to get some contact, and just went right up with it. Look at the rhythm here. You know, and that's where you got to know the scouting report. Daniels got to get up on him, force Woda to become a driver. When you've hit, 18 threes in 2 games. 2 or 3 games. I mean, that's, you got to know he wants to shoot the basketball, make him uncomfortable. I always thought as a defender, I want to make the guy I'm guarding do something he doesn't want to do. And if you back off, Woda's just too good of a shooter in rhythm like that. He's going to make the majority of them.
And free throw good again. And he's got pretty decent size for a perimeter player, especially in this small conference like this, you know, to be able to rise up and shoot over people a little bit too.
You know, he almost reminds you of one of the Hansons from Maranatha. I mean, that 6'4", 6'5" range with good quickness.
Going to get an offensive foul call going against the dribbler there. No, again, actually it's away from the ball on Smith. That'll be his 3rd. So he will have to check out, and coming in is Jeff Ekior, number 25.
Well, and that's a big loss. You go from 6'3", a big physical guy, to Ekior, who's 6 foot, but obviously not the same, banging down low. You know, and that's where Wendell Smith just got to play smart, try to get position, but do it, without fouling.
Dart shot bounces around and will drop for Heritage, and they go up by 6.
Yeah, and it's nice when you can bring a nice big physical kid like that, Dart, into the game as a senior.
They get the steal and the layup good for Johansson, and the Eagles, their biggest lead here, now at 24-16.
Yeah, and you're seeing just a lot of tip balls on these passes. You're forcing these young guards to make plays, and so far it's certainly they're getting some easy buckets.
Nice dish, but a great block by Woda. Here comes Scott leading the break. Allen will kick it across. Johansson for 3, and it's good.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Jay, offense is contagious. You make extra passes like that, really unselfish. Zach Johansson finally gets a 3-pointer to drop. And here's Woda coming. Look at him going up and getting that block. And then a really nice job. Tanner Scott forces the break, passes it over to Ben Allen. Look at the unselfish play. He almost knew that shot was going to go in at that point. And I'll tell you what, great defense too. It always leads to good offense. They're getting steals. They're getting easy baskets. And that time in transition, a couple extra passes, they get a nice perimeter 3. And that's got to be great for Zach Johansson, seeing that ball go in from beyond the arc.
And you're right. It just had a feel of a hoop that had to go in, and you knew a timeout was coming right after that too, just because of the way Maranatha struggled in those last several possessions.
You think this feels good for the Eagles, being able to finally get a big lead on their arch nemesis here for the last few years? And you know, we talked about it. They felt like maybe they could get them this year with that, you know, a lot of the graduating players they had last year from Maranatha and a bunch of 8th graders playing. And you take it while you can. And I like the strategy of getting that ball pressure, forcing these young guards. And you can see they're just not comfortable making those cross-court passes, ball faking, just slowing down a little bit. So, hats off to the Eagles for taking advantage of that.
I think, too, at times they need to recognize that you don't want to rush the ball over the timeline into a double team or a trap. You can sometimes back off and take your time, reverse the ball, something like that, so they can't just jump you and trap you over half court.
Well, I'll never forget Coach Mike Bray, my coach at Delaware, said, if you're double teamed, someone's open. So sometimes as a young player, you get so panicked and nervous. If you just have your head up, you're going to find a guy that's open.
And there's a steal again here by the Eagles. Johansson's going to stop and pop, but not able to hit it. Nice strong rebound by Allen in traffic, but missed it, and Ekior grabs the next one and then throws it away.
We don't keep track of turnovers here as we're doing this game, but I got to bet that's got to be 13, 14 turnovers already here in the still in the first half.
And despite that, not very long ago, they were right there with him, but now the turnovers have really started to pile up. And that's going to be a foul as Woda cut to the ball, and Daniels was behind him and will pick up the foul.
Well, it's smart play by Woda, 6'4". Daniels only 5'10", so knowing he's got size. And I like Woda. He knows he's getting contact, and he just shoots it. He knows he's going to go to the free throw line. That's what scorers do. Scorers just figure out a way to get fouled and get to that free throw line.
Fouls are starting to mount up a little bit here for Maranatha, too. They've got 8, and obviously Smith went to the bench with 3 already.
Yeah, that's 12 for Woda already, so he's halfway to his season average. Another thing, too, when you're watching the Mustangs attack this, you beat this it's a 2-2-1 three-quarter court press. You ball fake, you get defenses to move, and you beat the ball with the sideline pass. You throw it over the top. They're throwing right into the heart of this defense. And then against this 2-3 zone, you got to attack the seams, attack the middle of the defense.
Quick passing that time around to Daniels, wouldn't go. Andrews goes and gets the rebound, and it's going to be called for a travel, though. He was in a lot of traffic.
Yeah, and that's where Andrews, as he gets older and more experienced, he'll catch that rebound and go right up with it rather than take that extra dribble.
Maranatha coming with some pressure now. Turnabout is fair play. And we get a reach-in foul there on the drive up, as Richardson will pick up his third.
Yeah, and the tough thing, too, when you send a team to the free throw line, assuming they get a make, it allows them to set up that full court press, too. So you don't want to foul, give these guys free points, and then again give them the ability to get their full court pressure set up.
Well, since you noted that they've been poor at the free throw line, they've hit about everything.
They've been listening. They said, take that, commentator.
And now, of course, as I say that,
yeah.
They turn around and miss. 14-point lead for Heritage, and the ball lost into the backcourt over and back against Deontay Jordan. And the pressure continues to rattle the young guards here for Maranatha.
Well, Deontay, he's a really good penetrator, Jay. He's got to just take that ball in the middle, ball fake, get and drive to the basket. They're not getting anything going to the basket. We haven't seen Austin Andrews, other than that offensive rebound he had, get the ball in places where he can score.
And they turn it over again. Scott whipping it over. Johansson's three is way short. And a scramble for the rebound, and Coleman comes out of there with it.
Again, you see how everything's going back towards half court. They got to get something attacking. There's a big seam right there in the middle of the defense.
Spins in and out there for Jordan.
They look to get Austin Andrews the ball in the short corner there on the baseline.
Bordo's going to stop and fire from 15, and he hits.
You know, when you're guarding a guy that's averaging 24 points, even if he's not your guy, you got to stay with him. And you see they just backed off. He got a wide open 15-footer. You got to have an alert, an awareness on a guy like that.
Coleman's going to launch that long three. It's wide right. Andrews rebounds and then went right at the defender there and is called for the foul. That'll be his first.
Yeah, and that's another one where he's just got to rebound that, go right up. And you can see Woda driving, everyone kind of backs off. You got to have an alertness on him. Even if it's not your guy, you stay on him, you force the ball out of his hands. Make someone else make shots. Make someone else who's maybe not used to hitting those kind of shots get open. But you can't let C.J. Woda get wide open looks like that.
Vandertop dropped it, now drops the pass off. Nice fake there, the shot won't drop though, and in comes Jordan out of there with it.
You know, and that's too where Jordan, I think, needs to keep that penetration going, getting something in transition. They've had success tonight offensively doing that, but when they allow Heritage to get their defense set up, just not a lot of luck.
Andrews a nice board on the Daniels miss and lays it in.
See how that time he went right up with it. He didn't dribble, didn't let that defense come in. That's a really good play. He's been great on the offensive glass.
Nice backdoor cut and the layup good by Allen.
I'll tell you, Ben Allen's a really smart player. You can just tell. Oh, nice finish.
Andrews all the way, layup and one coming.
How about the finish of the 8th grader? And again, getting something to the basket. Look at this. They get right down the middle. Andrews going right out. Look at him use his body with the reverse on the left side. I've been really impressed, Jay, with him. It's, again, going back to just being in 8th grade. And what have you noticed the last 2 plays? Andrews has touched the ball, and it's been at the rim. They got to keep attacking, keep going to the basket, find ways to get him the ball.
Now they've settled for, I don't know if generally they're a little better, but they've been settling for threes and just not making them too. Haven't hit a 3 yet. Or I'm sorry, Mason hit that one.
Three, yeah.
Vandertop cutting into the lane, wants that turnaround and hits the glass only.
Like those are the
another
turnovers.
Throwaway, yep.
You know, that's a kind of turnover where, I think that was Ekior that got it. Just hold on to it. Let your guy clear. You know what I mean? There's just nothing that can come from that. And those are just plays of youth. And Ekior, he's a 9th grader. I mean, they're going to get better, Jay, as they get more comfortable, more experience playing.
Allen cutting to the baseline, now works it back out. Vandertop posting hard, wanted the pass, but it's taken away instead. Mason the steal. Nice dish to Ekior, and we get an offensive foul on Ekior. I think hooking his arm around the defender there, yep.
Wow.
So they're into the double bonus now as Ekior picks up that foul.
And you see the difference, Jay, just in the pace that Heritage is playing against that pressure. See how it's slow. They look, they see where they can attack, who's the open guy.
Ekior rips that rebound away, and now he is fouled and will shoot free throws at the other end.
Yeah, nice strong rebound too by Ekior. He's been a nice physical presence, I think, off the bench. We thought maybe when Wendell Smith went out with 3 fouls that they might lose that, but Ekior has come in and battled for some rebounds, played pretty physical down low.
3rd foul on Johansson, so a little bit of foul issue for him as well. Goes to the bench, and Ekior gets a chance at the line here, but no good. Oda brings it up court. 14-point lead here for Heritage Christian. Dart is going to take that 3-pointer, but misses. And Woda controls the rebound and missed Vandertop jumping up and down underneath there. Vandertop at the edge of the lane kicks it over for an open 3 from Woda. That one spins in and out, and Ekior boards it.
Nice pass by Vandertop. He did a great job of recognizing where the help came, and he got his buddy Woda a nice open 3, which normally is going to be money in the bank.
Andrews down the baseline, missed it. Trying to go back up again. Powers into Vandertop, and we get a travel call before the shot attempt.
How was that a travel, Jay? That looked like it was a block shot. Oh, I love the effort of the 8th grader, Andrews, just battling into it. No fear, and that's all you can ask for.
Woda's going to shoot that three and knock it down. They didn't. They played to go behind a potential screen, and he just calmly hit it.
Yeah, and again, that's knowing who you're going against, the scouting for it. He wants to shoot that ball, and he's too good of a shooter. When you're shooting 50% behind the three-point line, and you can see Andrew is only an 8th grader. Look at him. He's going to go underneath that ball screen, and Ekior does not come up, and that's an easy decision for Woda. He just pulls it up, hits it in rhythm. His second three of the game.
Dart called for that foul, and Andrews will head to the free throw line here for Maranatha Christian as they trail it by 17 here late first half. Free throw is good, so he's living up to billing with 9 points so far.
Yep, he's been very solid. I thought a couple plays down low could have maybe gone his way, but he just keeps battling. He's got a nice touch too for pretty big kid at 8th grade. He's got a very nice shooting touch.
37-22 Heritage now as we approach a minute to go in the first. Vandertop dishing. There's Woda with that left hand, and Andrews rebounds.
Did you see how they attack that, Jay? Up the sideline, guys running right down the middle of the court. You get a 3-on-2. That's what Maranatha's got to do when they go against Heritage.
Andrews, a floater, no good. A tip try, no good. And we get a foul call against Maranatha. Looks like it'll be on Andrews, I believe, trying to keep scrapping for that rebound. His second. And Maranatha is not exactly getting the calls here tonight, I'd say, overall.
Yeah, I think that's the second in a row on Andrews that's gone against him that I didn't see.
And we've covered Jeff Wall's teams for a long time, and he is one of the coaches who complains the least than anybody I've ever seen. So he's giving a little earful right now.
I always had a saying that the ball doesn't lie. So if you ever fouled someone and you know you didn't foul them, and they go to the free throw line, they're going to miss. I always say the ball never lies. We'll see if that holds true, and it did. So maybe his coach has got a point. No foul on the play. 35
seconds to go. Maranatha down 15 as they hit the front court. Nice hands, but they don't get the steal. Daniels chase back.
And Daniels has got to be just a little bit more of a threat when he catches that ball.
Coleman will be called for the travel there.
Yeah, you can see the ball's rotating from side to side, Jay, and when Daniels gets that, he's got to attack. He's either got to shoot that or penetrate. Instead, he dribbles, takes it, lets the defense get set, and then there's no ball rotation, unable to get anything out of it.
On to Thurston, and Andrews blocks it. Vandertop trying to toss it up over his head. Gave it an old
college try over the head.
That would have been pretty interesting if that one had fallen. So we reached halftime, and the more experienced Heritage team on its home court dominating our halftime score. Eagles 37, Mustangs 22. We'll be right back here to Heritage Christian in a moment.
Hey, you going out like that?
Yeah, why?
Well, what would the neighbors think?
I see you! Come look at Mr. Feather. Look what I have. Mr. Bird, remember? Bark, bark, bark. We're just playing. We're just playing on trying to get you out of here.
Even still.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
15-point lead for Heritage at halftime of this one as they look to beat their nemesis, Maranatha. They look at some first-half highlights in this one, and actually a pretty decent start for Maranatha, including this nice reverse really on the baseline by Andrews.
He's been really impressive.
At the other end, Johansson able to knock down the jump shot right there for the Eagles. Good passing. They had a lot of nice cuts into the lane, as you were noting earlier.
And they have good height, too, so it allows them to see over their defenders. Really, I thought that was the key. I thought when the Mustangs were attacking in transition, they got some pretty good looks. There's the big 8th grader coming over with a nice block.
One of the early buckets, and the only three that Maranatha had was Mason hit that one. And here's Woda really started to heat up. 17 first half points for him.
And you can see defender backs off. He's shooting in rhythm. We're going to see another highlight in a minute. Another play very similar. There he goes and gets the block. And a nice play here in transition. Good feed. And look at that. That was the one we talked about. We just knew it was going in. Great ball movement. And able to get a nice three. And here's that other one where you see, again, no defender coming up. When Woda's able to just kind of step in, get his rhythm, take his time, get his feet set, he's going to knock him down.
So 17 for Woda to lead the way and 7 for Johansson for the Eagles. 10 points for Andrews leading things for Maranatha. We'll come back with our second half of basketball here. Minnesota Christian Athletic Association Hoops on 12 Sports.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
So shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Welcome back here to Heritage Christian Academy as the Eagles leading Maranatha 37-22 at halftime. And I'm guessing there was some form, though, Ryan, of Coach Herman saying we've won nothing yet. Don't be satisfied with building a lead in the first half.
Yeah, and anytime, you know, you're up 15, if you come out complacent, I mean, this Maranatha team, they got great guards, so you have a couple turnovers, you get some momentum, and how many times have we seen basketball? It's such a game of swings and confidence. You hit a couple shots, all of a sudden that hoop looks huge, and 15 points can go in a hurry.
Maranatha will have the basketball to begin our second half here, and looks like they've got most of their original starters, although Daniels is in there. He had a pretty solid first half.
Yeah, and I always love this. If you get the ball to start the second half, you're down, have something set up, see if you can get a quick bucket. All of a sudden you see that that first shot go in, you start playing with confidence, and then who knows, anything can happen.
Jordan puts it on the deck and goes over to Richardson, short with that.
You know, it was better offense. You got some penetration, some kicks. They just got to knock those shots down.
Vandertop will kick it back out. Allen thought about it. Johansson, a floater down the baseline, and it's good.
Yeah, he had to really get some air underneath that because Austin Andrews, who showed the ability to get to be a good shot blocker, did a nice job of throwing up. And the floater, not an easy shot.
Andrews took a little bit of a bump there, but was off balance anyway and missed the shot. Oda open for a three, spins in and out. Vandertop had the rebound knocked away, and it will be, looks like Heritage basketball.
Black ball. And you see, you know, Woda almost seemed like he didn't want to shoot that. He's such a good shooter. He's got to want that. Part of that mentality is you know you're a good shooter whether you make or miss. Nice, beautiful underneath out of bounds execution. They had four guys going out, and that time Vandertop cuts right to the basket, easy layup.
Going to be a kick ball there against Heritage. Usually those only work that well when you're running them through against nobody in your first practice session.
You know when else it works? When you're playing against young, inexperienced guys as well. And, you know, excellent call. Coach Herman made a great call, and that's, one of those where you practice it, but you don't ever think you're going to get it to work in a game.
Woda, good hustle there. And
Woda's sending that ball right into the broadcasting booth. Good hands, Jay. We were ready for it if it came.
Back to Richardson. He'll swing it around now. Jordan, but again, a lot of passing around the deep on the edge there. Not really a threat. Into traffic here goes Richardson. Missed it. Gets it back though. Here's Andrews. Oh, an offensive foul called there. He ran out of room down that baseline.
You know, they're getting their penetration. They got speed. They got maybe a quickness advantage. They got to use it going to the basket. And there they get a nice deflection in transition.
Daniels for the layup. Good. He started it by getting a hand on that one.
Yep, those are the kind of plays they're going to need.
Here's Allen looking to attack. Missed that one. Foul over the top on Vandertop. Be his second as Andrews at good position on the rebound.
Yeah, and here it almost looks like, this is what we're used to seeing from Heritage, getting an easy bucket off a transition tip. And I think that's what they got to do. The Mustangs got to keep that pressure, use that quickness, try to force turnovers, maybe get 3 or 4 of those. All of a sudden, you're down to 8, 10 points. Anything can happen.
Daniels will swing it across Richardson. And it won't drop there, but there's a nice rebound by Smith, and nice touch.
Really
he
nice.
was pretty deep on the baseline, but just had that one-hand floater.
And he's only 6'3", but he's got that big, strong body. He can use that nice over the top. Look, beautiful play. Excellent pass by Tanner Scott over to Vandertop, over the defense for an easy layup.
Right there. Come on.
Richardson down the lane will kick it over to Daniels, in and out.
Go.
Yeah, but a nice job, Richardson, attacking the basket, able to get something for his teammate. Excellent play. We didn't see any of that penetration in the first half.
Allen not able to save that one after the Eagles turned it over on the way back up court.
Kind of that helter-skelter feeling that we saw to start the first half. And again, it comes down to that pace, Jay. Just watch the pace. And there's a lot of those playing the passing lanes.
Oda with the steal and lays it in.
And you see how he used his body? Deontay Jordan was coming down, going for the steal. Nice job using his body. And he finishes for the layup. Just an easy basket. Heritage does a nice job. They play the passing lanes. As soon as that ball's in the air, they're moving. And that's where I think if you're the Mustangs, you got to talk about ball fakes, right? You ball fake, defense is flying for it. It's like when you're playing against an aggressive defense in football. Fake and go. That's how you get open. Back doors, that kind of thing.
Richardson, a runner. It goes in and out. And last touch by Maranatha will be Eagles basketball here. Leading it by 45-26 score. Scott. Down, getting it to Vandertop. Oda passed up the 3, goes to Vandertop instead. Edge of the lane, turns, and in and out. Jordan doubled, but gets a nice pass away to Daniels. He will attack, but Vandertop was waiting for that one.
See the unselfish play too of Woda. Had an open 3, passed up on it, went inside to Vandertop, who just had a nice look. And again, I don't mind that. Shot got blocked, but at least you're attacking. You're getting something going to the basket. I've noticed that they've been able to, the Mustangs have definitely attacked a little bit more aggressive here.
Woda's pass tipped by Andrews and almost went for a hoop. Richardson back the other way. Drops it off for Andrews, missed it. Andrews gets it back, is fouled and scores.
How about the effort of that kid? He's a quick jumper. He missed the first one, goes right back and gets it. Little shot fake, takes contact, he finishes. Really impressed with this 8th grader by the basket.
Woda will pick up his first foul.
Here, Coach Herman talking to the referee says, that was 3 steps. He thought maybe that the Mustangs got away with an extra step there.
I found that to be there's Andrews with the miss. I found that to be kind of a funny trend, is that they call it the Euro step, but a lot of times it's just a slow travel, if you ask me, and which I thought it was on that one too. They'll give you the benefit of the doubt if you go real slow, but if you shuffle, they'll always call it. I don't get it. Turnaround jumper, good by Woda.
That was a very skilled move. Recognizing he had the bigger Wendell Smith on him. Used his footwork and a spin. He hits a 12-footer with a fadeaway. Really nice play.
Andrews going to the hole, and Woda went for the strip and got Some ball, but also a little bit of wrist.
Squares up, knows he's got the speed, a quick spin into a step back. That's just excellent footwork, excellent skill on the offensive end. You know, that's 6'4". You can't guard that. If he makes those kind of shots and that kind of move, you really can't guard it.
Andrews from the top, wide left on a 3.
And I think Heritage will live with him taking threes from up there. He's done most of his damage around the basket.
Allen's pull-up jumper is good.
Ben Allen's been pretty solid tonight. I think he's made a bunch of shots. He's smart. You know, we talked, he picks his spots, and when he shoots it, it's usually a very good shot, and he makes them.
Vandertop another block as the smaller Richardson tried to take it at him and go around him.
And again, I'm okay with that. Richardson trying to attack, trying to get to the basket. They're not turning it over. They're not settling for contested threes. At least they're trying to be aggressive.
Richardson trying to dish to Andrews. Good read, though, by Allen. Scott coming back the other way with the scoop layup, but it's in and out.
Yeah, you can see he's athletic. That stuttering stop and start attack. Just couldn't quite get it to go.
Vandertop another block. He denies Andrews.
Take it easy, take it easy.
Scott to Allen. And he hits a 3 just before Andrews could get there to bother it.
I was going to say, I thought Andrews might get the block on that, or maybe it's shot fake. He still pulled it.
That's it, you got it.
Able to knock it in.
Off white. No, bud, come on. Replay.
And here's Andrews taking it down, and you can see he didn't gather himself, didn't set his feet. And here's a nice 3, a nice kick, good vision over to Ben Allen, who nothing but the bottom of the net. And you can see the Mustangs offensively, Jay, they're picking their dribble up right in the corner by half court, and that's where you can get a nice trap on them. They got to know that's coming. You can't pick your dribble up. You got to get rid of it before that double team comes. See the short corner? Andrews wide open on that baseline.
Richardson tried to go to him. They were pretty close together by that point. A tough pass to handle. Good, very good idea and very good penetration, though.
You know, that's the thing, too. If Austin Andrews was playing with other juniors or seniors who maybe could slow down, get him the ball in those spots, I think he'd be even more effective.
Oda at the top. And the jumper no good. We had a foul away from the ball, though, underneath. They were looking for the rebound, and it looks as though they are going to get Maranatha's Mason. Scott into Vandertop. Scott looking to turn the corner. Oh, and Andrews swatting that one out.
And Tanner Scott, you can see he's got quickness. He's got to get in the middle of the lane, recognize that help is coming. He's got a couple of shooters opened up on the strong side there, but try to get the bucket. But Andrews, what would you say, 3 or 4 blocks here tonight?
Yeah,
nice. He's very aggressive. Good timing, too, going to get that ball.
Inbounded, and the fake, and Ekior will be called for the foul as Allen got him in the air.
Well, we talked about Allen being smart, taking his chances, picking his spots. That time, just a really gutsy heads-up play. Shot fake, know that a guy wants to block your shot, get the contact, get to the free throw line.
Misfires on that one. Second one is good, so Allen 11 points on the night here for our Heritage as they have really blown this one open. 53-28. Scott trying to get a steal there, but couldn't quite save it.
You can see Heritage just reading the eyes. Wherever it looks like the Mustangs are passing, they are. And that's where ball fakes would get that defense to jump, open up some more passing lanes, and open up maybe some more seams down the sideline and in the middle.
Richardson cutting through to the hoop, and nice finish.
Yeah, really nice finish. Richardson, again, the other 8th grader in that starting lineup. He's got great quickness.
Nice steal by the Mustangs. Coleman. And we get a foul on the way to the hoop. Vandertop picks up his third personal. Dart coming in.
Oh, I think they're going to get that foul on the ground, huh?
Yeah, it
not
looks like
shooting. Huh. You know, but when you're trailing by 20, that what you need is you get extra possessions. You get those turnovers. Forced turnovers, you get extra possessions, and you get shots like that. How about Richardson starting to feel it? Confidence. He's got 5 quick points, a couple of steals.
They are back down to within 20. Johansson leaving it for Vandertop.
What a nice pass. He went up with it. Defender went up. He wrapped it underneath him. Excellent pass. And a nice quick finish, too, by Vandertop.
Richardson, a great dish to Ikior. His pull-up, though, won't go.
Yeah, but you just feel like they're getting better shots, aren't they, Jay? And against that pressure, they're starting to attack a little bit more confidently, getting open looks.
Oda will shoot it, spins out. Richardson will dish. Shot fake from way deep by Mason. Coleman's pass tipped and stolen. Just too many bodies there trying to feed the high post.
Well, and you're doing it, stagnant when the defense is set. You make that pass after you've had the defense moving, and you get to see when the defense is watching you, they're able to adapt to that. They're able to play the passing lanes. You got a ball fake, and then you got to get ball reversals and some dribble penetration. Then you make those passes.
Coach Herman not pleased with the way his team getting into the offense and a little stagnant and slow with it. And this is especially early in the season. You're still coaching every moment. You're not saying, okay, we're up 20, that's okay. That's the time when you jump on it more than ever, probably.
Yeah, and you got a young team as far as they're learning how to win, right? This isn't just about winning one game. They might be building towards, how to win a conference championship, how to make a run in the second, so you're constantly, and you always, too, when you got a big lead, you're fighting complacency. You're fighting sloppy turnovers, bad habits. You don't want any of that stuff to happen. That's where, as a leader of this team, your seniors got to step up and say, hey, it's 0-0. Obviously it's not, but we need to play that way. We need to attack, keep the pressure on. Let's put this team away. Let's win this game by 40. That's what we always do. You set a goal. Okay, in the next 3 minutes, we're going to get the lead back up to whatever it is. If you do it that way, then you're always engaged. You always got a new goal that you're going after, and it helps you avoid complacency.
Johansson comes to get it. Now Woda underneath. Allen, a nice cut. Stripped, though, by Ikior.
And they had a nice baseline cut in the flex screen there. Got the look. Just good hands by Ikior.
Daniels, the left-hander, buries a 3.
Yeah, they're just hanging around, Jay. They're hitting enough shots. They're playing hard. They're just doing enough to keep this game still very competitive. And here you got Heritage starting to speed up and trying to get it back, and there's a turnover. Like Daniels got his feet set. He was ready to shoot that time, no hesitation. Those are the shots you like to see. Even if you miss that, that's a good shot where it's in rhythm, you didn't rush, you didn't force anything. Another, Daniels, the third, 8th grader getting significant playing time. Yeah, I bet in 2 or 3 years, Jay, this is going to be a heck of a team. Once these Mustangs all have experience, those guys are sophomores and juniors.
Vandertop with the block. Yeah, that's the thing. They're playing early on varsity and maybe take a few lumps here and there, but you can see they've got some definite talent on this young group. I would guess if they were playing against a bunch of 8th and 9th graders at their age level, they'd look pretty darn good.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
But with as dominant as they've been in this conference, they're going to get no sympathy from Heritage or any other opponent this year. Down low it comes. Woda had it slip away out of his hands a little bit, then Vandertop the miss.
Oh, good hustle.
And Ikior runs it down.
Yeah, and you just get the sense Heritage just a little out of rhythm now. They're kind of rushing their shots. They're almost playing like the Mustangs were in the first half, and obviously still have a 19-point lead, but
Yeah, flow and momentum can go away in a hurry in any basketball game, no matter what level you're playing at. And that seems to have happened to them just a little bit. Here's Andrews, now back out to Jordan.
I like that Wendell Smith was calling for it down low.
Jordan forcing one into traffic, and he is called for the, or is fouled as he went for that shot. It'll be against Heritage's Ben Allen.
Deontay going to the basket. I always, I say it a lot in our basketball broadcast. You attack the basket, you force the referee to make those calls. More often than not, they're going to reward that offensive player being aggressive.
3 points now for Jordan. Chance to get points with the clock stopped too if you can make your free throws, and it'll dance around and drop. Heritage throwing long. Little reverse dribble there by Johansson, kicked it back out, and they will turn it over. Over and back violation. Good hustle by Scott, but it had already hit into the back court.
Yeah, and Heritage did a really nice job taking care of the basketball that first half. Here in the second half, that's probably turnover number 8 or 9, so kind of the roles reversed a little bit.
Richardson dribbling around the defender there. Now we'll pull it back out and reset with Jordan. Kicks it over to Richardson. A little short that time, and Wood will throw it ahead to Scott. Scott attacking, no good, but he is fouled by Jordan.
Scott did a nice job that time. Ball in his right hand, turning and using his body as a shield, knowing that he's either going to make it or the only way the defender could get through is if he fouled him, took the contact. And Heritage, I think just with their length and their height ability, they're able to just look over the top of the defense. And it's beneficial on their offense, their motion offense, also in transition, they're just able to see over the defense.
Scott missing the first free throw, and he misses a pair. Battle to keep it alive and get a tie up here between Daniels and Scott. Both guys going hard at it and letting up though, so no injury situation there.
You love the effort. I mean, as a coach, you love when your guys, no matter what the score is, are getting on the floor like that. We saw a little somersault in there, so you know both guys wanting that basketball. That's basketball. You love to see that kind of hustle. Especially when one of those kids is an 8th grader going against a senior.
Richardson got a piece of it, but the Eagles get it back.
Nice.
And a nice dish and layup good by Johansson.
Nice play, but how about the hustle by Tanner Scott? You see him dive forward, tap it to his guy, which really enabled that play to happen. Excellent play.
Richardson's going to launch one, and that was not close. Good effort by Smith, but he's unable to save it.
And that's maybe the downfall of playing with 8th graders. You know, he's had a couple of moments here where he's looked really good. And you get a little confidence, you start taking some bad shots. That's just some youth taken in right there.
Over the catch, tipped away by Daniels. He didn't see him coming. Here's Jordan over to Daniels and fights it up and in. Nice hoop.
Yeah, I didn't think Daniels was going to get that over the 6'4" Woda, but he did a nice job hanging in the air and getting that to fall.
17-point game. Maranatha sticking around, and we get a foul call on the reach, and Richardson was caught behind Allen a little bit there.
Yeah, and as he gets older, he's going to take that cut away. Just good position. I thought this was just a really nice finish. You can see Woda hangs in the air, and that time Daniel's just able to hang a little bit longer and get that ball to go in.
Allen, baseline pull-up, won't drop. And Smith was fouled as he comes up with that rebound.
You see the big fella, he's able to get off the floor, pretty athletic. Goes up pretty high to go get that rebound.
Vandertop will pick up his 4th foul here for Heritage, so he has 4 and Johansson 3 for the Eagles. And on the other side, you've got Richardson with 4 and Andrews and Smith with 3 each. Jordan will shoot it and make it a 3.
And again, in rhythm, after a couple of ball rotations, catches it, gets his feet set. Look at him step right into this, knowing that shot's going to go up. And an excellent job. They're playing much better in the second half. I think win or lose, Coach Wall, I think you walk away saying, hey, we got better tonight. It was a tale of two halves as far as how we executed, taking care of the basketball.
Dart receiving it, and he'll pull it back out and reset. Allen to Johansson, quick trigger from the top of the key, no good. And a battle for the rebound. Look at Smith go after it. We'll get a tie up.
Love the big fella getting down on the ball, on the ground, going to get it. And you just love that. Watch the effort. Long rebound. Everyone battling. Look at Wendell Smith right here. Just give me that ball. Love the effort.
5:45 to go. Heritage continuing to lead by double digits, but it's not been as comfortable as it was earlier. Now at 14 and the miss by Daniels.
And see, that one was contested. That time you ball fake. You try to get maybe 2-3 dribbles, get a mid-range shot. Speaking of a mid-range shot, there's Woda. God, he's got a great rhythm. I love watching his rhythm, the way he steps into his shots.
Breaks a bit of a drought there for the Eagles. 59-43. Richardson with the runner.
And again, great penetration. They didn't go east and west. He went north and south and got into that lane. That's where their advantage is, their quickness, their speed.
And we're going to get a foul on Thurston of Heritage as he tried to get that ball back after the steal by Jordan.
That's going to be the 7th team foul, so that's going to send Maranatha to the free throw line. Trailing by 15 with still 5 minutes left. So still plenty of game left to get this lead back down.
Yeah, at first you were just thinking, well, let's get back to it's respectable. But now you can kind of start to think about getting close enough to make them a little nervous.
And with the way Heritage is turning the ball over now, you get those extra possessions. They're shooting the ball better at Maranatha is from 3, so they're going to be at the line. You knock these 2 down, you get a couple of stops. I mean, that's how you got to think when you're coming back. And we've seen crazier things than this happen. We saw the Packer game last night. And, of course, all my in-laws are from Wisconsin, so I had to hear about it all night long. It made me sick.
Heritage, you see what they have coming up. So they'll be taking on St. Agnes and then Bethany and at Legacy as we head toward Christmas.
So what you can't see there's Coach Herman, and he had a great sweater vest on. He's got matching socks to go with that sweater vest. Best dressed coach I've seen so far this year, Jay.
Yeah, he's always sharply dressed. And you see what Maranatha has coming up. They'll be at Pact coming up on Tuesday, and then at New Life Academy. Heritage right now is struggling to kind of get that offensive rhythm back that they had for especially the latter part of the first half. It seemed like everything was flowing for them. You know, even when they were missing shots, it was good shots and it was in rhythm and it was off of good offense.
You know, it seems like they've sped up a little bit as we've seen pressure from Maranatha, and it's kind of forced Heritage to play fast. And you know, they've had probably 12 to 15 turnovers in the second half, so they haven't had a lot of possessions. If they get it, into their half court and they have their spacing, they run their offense, they can get pretty much whatever shot they want. And I think that's probably what's frustrating for Coach Herman. They're just not getting the kind of shots that they can get.
Hey, Black. Zippo.
1-and-1 free throw here for Jordan. Coach Wall wanted an explanation on something. Didn't see that exactly, but. Jordan's free throw no good. It was so short, though, that it surprised the rebounder, and they'll get another crack.
They got to look to that short quarter in that middle.
Richardson across to Daniels. Shot fake, and he'll pull it up, but Vandertop gets a piece of it. Tough to shoot over that 6'6" Vandertop. Woda driving to the hole, and Andrews with a great block. Boy, he is just about matched Vandertop in the shot blocking department tonight. And an offensive foul on Andrews as he looked to attack against Allen.
Yeah, it just hasn't been there for him tonight, Jay. That's probably the second or third we've seen that offense. He lowers that shoulder. He's just got to get it a little bit lower so it looks like he's swinging it through. That time when he does it, it looks like it's just going right into the chest.
Yeah, it was pretty
defender.
obvious too when when you're leading into him like that. Here's Allen with a little floater, and that's good.
Really nice looking move. No one picked him up. I think he was surprised that he got all the way to the rim with no one there.
And we'll get a foul call on Johansson as he tried to steal that pass. Yeah, he's just going to keep this dribble going until somebody really steps up, and by that time it was too late. I like the way that they stayed spaced, though, to give him room to work there, too.
Yeah, and when you have a lot of shooters, that's the #1 thing is you keep spacing. And you shot fake and you get penetration, and you're almost scared to leave your shooters, so you end up getting easy looks like that.
Andrews had a good first half. He's been pretty quiet here in the second, has 13 points total.
Yeah, I think his offensive production has sacrificed, but their guard play has improved pretty dramatically here in the second half. If they could ever get both of those going at the same time, that inside-out combination, they could be very, very efficient offensively.
Up ahead, Johansson will look to attack, and he finishes strong with the left hand. He thought there was a chance he might get, bumped into there, but he still just went right at it.
Yeah, Andrews went for the steal on that long pass, didn't get it, and that led to an easy layup.
Richardson the miss. Vander Top now to Scott. Nice pass fake and then kicks to the corner. Johansson bobbled, but still shoots and still hits.
Yeah, excellent pass by Tanner Scott and a nice job by Johansson. He dropped it there for a minute, able to compose himself, set his feet, and hit another three.
That's when you know you're a good shooter, when you can drop it and still pick it up and score it.
Well, the key is if you're in rhythm, you see a lot of guys, they'll drop it and then they quickly hurry. He was able to drop it, get his feet set, and then still take a pretty good shot.
They slip it to Andrews, fakes the shot, drives into the middle, and won't drop. Nice rebound, Smith.
Nice, look at the big fella.
And they'll count that one, and a free throw coming. Wendell Smith did a nice job of staying, keeping his body in good position and then going back up strong.
Well, he caught it on the left side, Jay, and used his body, finished on the right side. And he's a big fella. If you're going to foul him, you got to take his arm off. He's too strong. And you'll get a chance here for a three-point play.
Free throw bounces three times and falls in for Smith, so 7 points for him tonight. And subbing in now is Elisha Coleman, number 2 for Smith. Give him a little quicker D, and also he has a little bit of foul trouble, but they want Smith in there to be used offensively. And that's what they'll do, I'm sure. Daniels getting up to get a piece of that one.
Yeah, and just you can see the coach getting mad at just kind of nonchalant with their passes. You jump, you leave your feet, telegraph your pass. Those are aggressive defenses will be all over that. That's where you got to just be a little sharper, a little bit more attention to detail. Here you can see they got a nice flow. They got a lot of cutting going on, and they're able to get a very nice shot out of it.
Scott the miss. He'll go back to Johansson. Scott dishing inside. Nice hands by Coleman to get a piece of that.
That was a good look. It was just about a second too late there. But you can see when they got 4 guys around one, they got a guy cutting in the middle, constant movement. You got a lot of guys that can shoot. They become hard to defend.
Working a little weave here. Use some time and also try and get a layup out of it.
Yeah, well, a lot of times what you get, a defense that's trailing, they're going to come out, try to be a little bit more aggressive, and then you get a foul, and that's going to put them in the bonus.
Mason will pick up his second. So Scott to the free throw line. And not able to get it to drop. Andrews the rebound.
And again, you can see free throws playing a little bit of a role in this game. A lot of missed opportunities for Heritage.
Here's Andrews inside, kicking it back out. Baseline move by Andrews, slipped it up, no good, got it back.
Wow.
And was fouled before he went up for another shot attempt.
He likes to go that baseline. How did he get that rebound, Jay? He was on the baseline, that ball went out. He must have just, he's really aggressive at going after offensive rebounds.
It's going to be number 5 on Vandertop. So they'll lose, you know, his inside offense, but also his half dozen blocks or so.
Yeah, and I think this opens up a lot for Austin Andrews down low. I think, you know, having Vandertop there to challenge him, I think he's going to maybe look to be a little bit more aggressive down by the basket.
Free throw no good. Andrews does have 4 fouls of his own, which at this point, though, you just got to play.
Yep.
Second one is good. So a 66-51 game, 15-point lead for Heritage. They were up by the same margin at halftime, so Maranatha's played them even in the second half. Dart will give it back to Scott. Minute 45 to go. Scott triple teamed, and timeout called for by Coach Herman, as he felt like Scott might be in some trouble there. Ended up getting the pass away, but just as the timeout was taken. So minute 36 to go in the game, and a 15-point Heritage Christian lead here.
Yeah, and I'm guessing the Mustangs are going to come out, try to get a steal, and probably start fouling. And right now, if you're Heritage, you're just, you know, wanting a lot of pressure. Watch the double teams, watch your passes, take time off the clock, and then let's seal this deal at the free throw line. And you get the feeling too, Heritage is going to stay aggressive. They'll probably still look to go back door. If they can get easy shots, wide open layups, that they're going to do that.
Oda will throw it in. Allen falls down, but
nice job
for
dropping,
him,
getting rid of it before he fall. Otherwise, it would have been a travel.
And Scott was really in the right place at the right time. Johansson going to the hole and is fouled. Andrews is going to foul out. He's had a lot of blocks, and actually Andrews got hit in the mouth, it looked like that time, as he came over, but pretty clear defensive foul there. And that, I believe, should be 5 on him. You see, he followed through. They both got hit. And Andrews will end up fouling out. Nice performance overall for him, especially when you consider how young he is.
Yep, very impressed with that young man. He's going to be a heck of a basketball player as he gets older and physically a little bit stronger, and obviously gets more experience too.
Johansson's free throw good. Second time not there, but Oda is there for the rebound for the Eagles. Heritage taking a time to make a substitution just as Allen will come out and McKevitt back in. And Scott handed that ball away. Julian Caven, who's in there now for Maranatha, was fouled as he tried to go to the hoop. That'll be the 4th on Woda, so Caven will quickly get a chance to put his name in the scorebook.
Yes,
and
sir.
He hits. Second one is off target. Eagles will come up with it here, so the lead is at 15, which is about as close as they've been able to whittle it here. But now Dart into the lane. McKevitt. Johansson cut off, but kept the dribble alive. Under 45 seconds to go in the contest here.
Yeah, the Mustangs choosing really not to foul, just to keep chasing the ball.
Scott getting it over to Johansson, and just ripped right away, and then a foul on Johansson. He exposed the ball, and Justin Mason just pounced on it. And that'll be the 5th on Johansson, but he's had a nice night. 17 points.
I thought Johansson did a nice job. He hit a couple of threes, but had a couple of nice athletic plays, finished at the rim, had some mid-range shots. Really has good speed and athleticism, too. He's got good size. He's 6'2", junior. They got a nice balance here on this Heritage team with size, with shooting ability, with quickness.
Noah Pieper comes in to replace him as Mason hits the free throw. Dylan Nags comes in for Heritage now, number 34. Mason's free throw good again, so 67-54 ball game here. Down to 20. Inside, and that pass stolen away. And then thrown away at the other end. As we'll kind of come cruising to a stop here late. McKevitt takes the inbound pass here for Heritage. Back to Dart as we'll tick down the final seconds of this one. McKevitt thought about it, and now he will take that shot, and he hits it. How do you like that? McKevitt burying one. 70-54 will be the final score. That's a nice way to end the ball game for them. And for Heritage, you know, this one felt like it was theirs for a long time, Ryan, but you kind of have to remind yourself that this is only the 2nd time they've been able to beat them in a very long time. So congratulations to Heritage on the victory here this evening.
Well, I think it played out a lot with how you and I thought and talked about in the pregame, that maybe just with the young players of Maranatha, that it was going to be a lot of turnovers. How would they react to full court pressure in that first half? It really was just about turnovers. And Heritage just got a couple more polished players that can handle the pressure, and they have 4 or 5 guys that can score at any time. So good balance on Heritage's part. But, you know, I can't say it enough that enjoy it while you can, because this Maranatha team, as the year gets going, I think they're going to get better and better, and certainly the future is bright for them playing a bunch of 8th and 9th graders. Enjoy it while you can for the rest of the league.
That's right. 25 tonight for Woda, 17 for Johansson, and 13 for Allen to lead the Eagles, 15 for Andrews, and a dozen off the bench for Daniels for Maranatha. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's telecast here from Heritage. For Ryan Iverson and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Heritage Christian.